Russian airstrike killed civilians waiting for food. A Russian airstrike on the Ukrainian city of Chernihiv, which reportedly killed 47 civilians last Thursday, should be investigated as a possible war crime, Amnesty International said Wednesday.
Here's a summary of the article.
A Russian airstrike on the Ukrainian city of Chernihiv, which reportedly killed 47 civilians last Thursday, should be investigated as a possible war crime, Amnesty International said Wednesday. Into the strike, one of the deadliest so far in Russia's two-week assault on Ukraine, the rights group said it was not able to identify a legitimate military target at, or close to, the scene of the strike. Amnesty International believes the majority of victims were queuing for food when the missiles struck, the organization added, based on witness testimony and analysis of satellite images. Amnesty concluded that the square in Chernihiv, a city in northern Ukraine close to the Belarusian border, was hit by at least 8 unguided aerial bombs, known as dumb bombs, during the March 3 strike, which took place at around 12:15 p.m. Verified footage of the strike shows 8 munitions being dropped in close succession and falling in a line, as is typical in a bombing run, Amnesty said in its new report. The airstrike that hit the streets of Chernihiv shocks the conscience. This was a merciless, indiscriminate attack on people as they went about their daily business in their homes, streets and shops, said Joanne Mariner, Amnesty International's crisis response director. Prosecutors at the International Criminal Court have opened a probe into possible war crimes during Russia's invasion of Ukraine, in which Ukrainian officials say hundreds of civilians have been killed in indiscriminate Russian shelling and airstrikes. This shocking attack is one of the deadliest that the people of Ukraine have endured yet. The prosecutor of the International Criminal Court should investigate this airstrike as a war crime. Those responsible for such crimes must be brought to justice, and victims and their families must receive full reparation.
This post received a score of 39,000, with an upvote ratio of 96%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
No matter the outcome, this will take years or decades to sort out.
Unfortunately, I think that we need to realize that it's highly likely, though not set in stone, a large part of those Russian war criminals will never be tried. Russia will never give them up willingly, unless they get a totally different, democratic, non-authoritarian government, or if it gets conquered and they are captured. Both of these are not likely for the foreseeable future. This is not like Germany, where, if there still are some Nazi war criminals alive, they would be more than happy to let the world try them for war crimes.
The Ukrainian Jews will not just let this slide. It would not surprise me if Mossad helps them hunt and kill every commander who ordered these strikes. I wouldn't even be surprised if they already creating profiles in each and every one of them. There will be nowhere on earth that you can hide. President of Ukraine said this in his speech after Russian attacks killed children. I read between the lines and I know what he means. We will not forgive and not forget.
Zelensky is probably in contact with almost all intelligence agencies of the Western world, Mossad especially. But we can't expect them to do a Eichmann on the commanders.
It seemed like Israel was kind of remaining neutral from what I've read, but I don't have understanding on the matter. Do you think the Mossad is involved and why?
Israel doesn't want to piss off either side because they get a huge amount of money from Russia and the US. Several prominent Russian oligarchs are actually Jewish and dual Israeli citizens. Abramovich in particular largely lives in Israel after not getting his UK visa renewed in 2018 and donates massive sums to Israeli causes and museums. It's actually a part of why he hasn't been sanctioned in the US and probably won't be. Israel is pushing really hard for him to not be. That being said, I kind of expect that if the oligarchs do turn on Putin, it will be led by that Jewish contingent, some of whom have already made statements, either direct or veiled, against the war, so we'll see what happens.
And if I am not mistaken, the single largest ethnic group in Israel outside the Arabs are Russian Jews, and most of them are very right-wing, and that could be trouble for Bennett's coalition government if the government is seen as being one-sided against Russia.
Russia committing war crimes left, right and center. We need to show that the Russian generals and government are not immune to international law and charge them at The Hague.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.